Hello, and welcome to this new episode of the podcast From Change to Acculturation, the digital leadership journey. My name is Sarata Cherif, and I'm a student at Temple University. Today, we're diving into the change management of digital acculturation pillar of the 7 by 6 digital transformation framework designed by Dr. Mounir Chaouki. In just a few minutes, Dr. Chaouki offers his perspective on this key topic. Dr. Chaouki, so what are the obstacles to the effect of adoption of digital transformation?
Okay. Uh, Thank you very much, Sarata, for this. So, welcome to this new podcast to everybody. If I talk about the obstacles of to digital adoption, there are many obstacles to digital adoption that I would summarize into three topics. So, the first topic we need first to understand, to keep in mind something very important. Change management is part of digital acculturation. Digital acculturation goes beyond change management, which is only a subcomponent of it. Because what is at stake, if we want to benefit from the digital transformation, we need to make sure that all our collaborators embrace new mindset. What is this new mindset? Is digital first. We need to think digital first. That's the mindset. So the key obstacle of encoring this new mindset maybe actually we need to change the way of working. So we may need to modify the culture of the organization, means introducing new way of working. That's very important because when you change the way of working, you are preparing to adopt actually digital practices. Changing the way of working, this is number one. Number two, we need to look at the collaboration and the sharing. Does the organization use to collaborate effectively beyond the silos? So I think new ways, the first obstacle is we used to operate in a certain way and we need to change the way of working. That's the first obstacle. Second obstacle would be resistance to change because we may not perceive the value of changing. Today I'm operating correctly. What is the benefits of changing my way of working and moving from my comfort zone to a new comfort zone, to a new zone? What do I gain? What's the benefits, in fact? So I think the key stakeholders actually need to understand, they resist to change because they don't understand why. And secondly, they don't understand what they will win actually by adopting, by embracing digital. This is really the, let's say, the two key elements we have seen while advising companies on the field.
Great. So, how can the obstacles be addressed effectively, in your opinion?
So, yes, you're absolutely right. There are many ways of addressing this type of obstacles. I think to illustrate a real example, we need to see really real example to understand what are the obstacles and how do we can we address them effectively. So I would like to talk to you about a company which is an IT company integrator operating in Africa with approximately 100 collaborators. This company arrived to a certain level of maturity. She cannot anymore generate growth from its businesses. So she said, okay, what do I missing today? What do I need to bring? Would digital transformation help me actually generate new revenue streams and keep growing in the market or not? So they considered actually embracing digital transformation and they wanted to start step by step. So the first step, they said, okay, I want to generate growth. What my sales team do they know, do they need actually in terms of competencies and in terms of tools? So they benchmarked on the market and they found that the CRM, the customer relationship management tools, would be a real tool that would help the company identify a new source of revenues and actually bundle offers to generate new actually growth and revenue streams. And they said, okay, but considering the CRM, we have never used CRM. We used to use only Excel files. So what do we need to do so that our collaborators, sales guys adopt that CRM effectively? They started by making an audit of the key stakeholders, understanding what are the barriers of adoption to CRM. So the first barrier they identified to the adoption of the CRM was the fear of the salespersons, because if we use the CRM, you would need to transfer all your contacts details of the customers you are working on into centralized systems. So their contacts, they were their customers, they will be sharing this with all the others. That's the first thing. And the second thing, they say, okay, if these guys they put a CRM for us, they will be doing a kind of surveillance and monitoring what we are doing on a daily basis, and that's not good for them. So these are the two fears actually, and the resistance to change that were identified and needed to be addressed as part of this program. So the company said, okay, wow, we have actually a kind of negative perception of the CRM. So we need to address effectively those fears. So they said, okay, what we're going to do, we are going to actually take the whole sales team, talking about 20 persons, and identify the ambassadors. Who would be the ambassadors on the sales team that will be part of the project that will drive the introduction of the CRM. So we identified 4 ambassadors, which are legitimate ambassadors, skilled sales guys, and recognized as experts by their peers within the organization. That was the first step they made. Okay, they took the 4 ambassadors. The second thing, they say, okay, these ambassadors, we need to equip them. We need to give them the right arguments, objections, and how do we deal with the objections so that they are armed and equipped to drive, to accompany the change by introducing the CRM. That's the first. The second thing, training them, the ambassadors. And the third thing, they said, okay, the ambassadors, they will be followed. But how do we engage the 16 other salespersons? They said, okay, these guys, they would like, they are feared, they have a fear actually, and they don't see the value of adopting a new way of working. So we will do workshops inviting the 20 sales guys supported by the 4 ambassadors, and we will co-build with all the sales organization the new ways of working, which is the new process of selling. So we focus in 3 type of processes: tender answering, prospecting, and answering private deals. So we work with them in the 3 type of procedures, and we standardize the procedures with the agreement of all of them. So they were involved in building their new way of working. So once that has been done, they start understanding, wow, if we use the system, we will really first reduce the time of prospection, and we will maybe benefit from the return on experience from all the other sales working in other customers. So it will be interesting for us to do it, because at the end of the day, we need to understand what drives a sales guy. What drives the sales guy reality? He wanted to make the turnover and the margin objective to have a bonus and increase his bonus. If you help him increase his turnover and margin and get his bonus, he would say, okay, give me that tool, because he is driven by the financial incentives. And understanding that was really interesting, because in order to avoid fear and losing turnover, we said any sales guy within the 20 guy that help in driving, in generating turnover for another sales, he will share the revenue with him. And that was really very interesting lever that help us drive the adoption of the CRM, because said, okay, if I share the knowledge in the CRM, if I can help other sales guys close their deals, I will share revenue with them, and I will increase my revenue, and I will be in better position to get my bonus.
Definitely.
And that was really key when we have put that in place. Okay, so this is through this really concrete example, we can say that by scanning as early as possible the barriers and working, fine-tuning the approach in engaging, leveraging the power of the ambassadors within the organization and equipping them with the right training and the support tool, we can actually be successful, get the most chance actually to be successful in introducing a CRM and actually succeeding in this digital transformation journey. And last but not least, to make it sustainable adoption and be anchored as an unconscious tool to be used on a daily basis, we have set in place a kind of rituals, which is every Monday before all the sales organization get to their weekly meeting, their top management ensure that everyone said no sales guy is invited to the sales meeting if he doesn't update the CRM tool. And that was really something interesting in the governance of the organization that helped. And even the top management himself, when he is participating in closing the deals, he gets to the CRM system and puts actually the point and the follow up in the CRM system, which is making it leading by example. And all the sales guy, okay, my top manager, he is updating the CRM. He doesn't came to the weekly meeting until he updated the CRM. I need to follow that example. So leading by example was as well the last, let's say, insight I would like to share as part of this podcast.
Thank you for this great perspective, Dr. Chaouki. My last question is, what is your recommendation?
So I think the key recommendation through this example I have seen in Africa are really three key messages I wanted to leave you with. The first one, you need absolutely, when initiating a project in a digital transformation, go step by step. That's the first thing. The second, take your time to understand the key stakeholders around the organization, who influence, who are the ambassadors, to build your ambassador teams, because the ambassador teams will help, are legitimate. They need to be very well selected with a good reputation, legitimate within the organization, and experts, so that they can, let's say, have a ripple effects in driving all the other sales organization to adopt. And the last thing, make sure your recommendation when you do the training and advisory tool you will be equipping your sales guys with, make sure you address the real need of the sales guy by removing the barriers first, of course, but addressing the real need and bottom line, which is what drive these stakeholders. Turnover and bonus, the tool, digital transformation need absolutely to help them succeed in their journey, in their sales journey. It should be a leverage to increase an opportunity for them. And this is really very important because in this case, you are addressing the unsatisfied need of the key stakeholders, and they will adopt and be aligned with what you are going to do in for your organization. And thank you very much for listening to me.
To sum up, the full potential of digital transformation requires a tailored support program that addresses identified barriers in depth and ensures lasting adoption. It is a long term process as the goal is to transform the organization's culture to instill a digital first mindset. Thank you for listening.